It's just like that look. It's like everyone has that same look of like, wow, this girl is dumb. Like, why is she so stupid? Hi guys, it's just me here today, so just Chen. I wanted to talk to you guys about something I thought would interest some of you, or maybe some of you guys would just be interested in the perspective. But it's about being a non-Korean Asian in Korea. There are, I guess, both pros and cons, but just to start off, this as a full disclaimer, I do not speak on behalf of all Asian people. This is just from my perspective, stories I've heard from a lot of my friends, and stuff I've seen on forums and things like that. But again, I do not speak on behalf of a whole population of people. This is just coming from me. Also, to start with, a lot of people assume I'm Korean. I'm actually not Korean. My family, ethnically, I was born in Taipei, and I moved to New York City when I was about 5, so I really identify myself as American, just because I grew up in New York, and it's just kind of my bread and butter. So, not Korean. So, I'm going to start off positive vibes, and we're going to go with the pros. So, one great thing about being an Asian living in Korea is that, I mean, it's a double-edged sword, but people do just assume you're Korean. So on a day-to-day basis, I kind of just move about my day, and I'm not really bothered. No one gives me weird looks when I'm ordering food or anything like that. I do speak enough Korean to also get by, so like I don't need to use English in my day. So people just kind of assume I'm Korean when I'm just buying something at the market, at the store, getting my coffee. So yeah, it's kind of nice just like living as you would anywhere, just like living your life. Another positive thing is that people are always like super friendly to me. I never get any sort of like weird or mean comments like off the side, versus like when I'm walking with my foreigner friends, we'll hear like a lot of comments about them behind us or next to us. So those I don't get on like a regular basis, as you might get otherwise. Another thing is, so unfortunately I've heard this story like way too often, where my friends or people who we know, they've been turned away at clubs or certain establishments maybe even, because they're not Korean. Honestly, from what I've seen, because I've also seen it in person, they'll literally most of the time say like it's because like they only like you're not Korean, or if they want to be nicer and sugarcoat it, they'll make up an excuse like you're not wearing the right clothes, or if they want to be more vague, they'll just say you're not who we're looking for to come here. Another thing too is I can catch a cab really easily. So that might sound like a really small thing, but it's literally, I see it every day, like foreigners try to hail a cab and the cab's just like whizzing by and not stopping for them. Just the other day, my friends and I were in a cab going somewhere, and the cabbie was super nice to us. Like he gave us lollipops, we were just having a nice little chat, and then the conversation took a turn, and he started to like say like, oh, such and such minority group, they're really bad, they're really dangerous, like you should stay away from them. This minority group is really bad, they're really dangerous, they like beat people up, stay away from them. You know, it's really unfortunate that still happens, but it is definitely a thing here, and you know, being a non-Korean Asian, you're really not going to face those types of more like angry stereotypes. So moving on to cons, I think the biggest con is just like I get that look of, why don't you speak Korean? Instead of, when my friends go and order coffee or something, it's annoying for them because like no matter what, even if they speak Korean, like counter people will still speak to them in English. Versus for me, like I don't get that. I don't get that treatment of, oh, I should, like they don't like switch to English. They just think, why is this Korean girl so like 𝗘𝗫𝗑 that she doesn't know her like Korean roots? 𝗘𝗫𝗑 is sort of like slang for like Korean people who've lived abroad or moved abroad who are now like disassociated or disconnected with their Korean heritage. So they just kind of assume I fit that category instead of just assuming I'm a foreigner. That a lot of times when they find out I'm not Korean, they'll say like, oh, that's weird, I just assumed you were Korean because you're so pretty. And in a sense, in a way, that's like a compliment. So I'm like, oh, thank you. But in another sense, I'm like, well, other like Asian ethnicities can be pretty too, you know, just like anyone. I don't know. Third thing is, so I'm not enough of either. So I'm not Korean enough and I'm not foreign enough. So I'm just this weird like limbo category. Yeah, I'm not treated as a foreigner a lot of times. There was this joke at my school where like we had a family from Sudan come to the school to register their daughter, and one of the teachers was like, oh, a real foreigner's here, a real foreigner's here. And I just went, I'm a real foreigner. Like, what do you guys think I am this whole time? Like a fake foreigner? And they were just joking around, and they didn't like mean anything bad by it, but it's stuff like that where I'm just like, no, like I'm also a real foreigner. When you're not foreigner enough, I think this question's literally gonna follow me the rest of like just like my whole life, and it's not just in Korea. I get it obviously a lot in America or anywhere, any countries I've been to, but they'll say like, where are you from? And I'll say, oh, I'm from New York, and they'll say, where are you like really from? Like where are your parents from? And it's like that question, I think I should just like etch on my tombstone, because it's just like literally I cannot never escape. Like, why is that not like an answer? Like, why is that not enough? I don't know. A lot of people might not know this, but within Asian society, there's sort of like the skin tone hierarchy. Like, the darker you are, the lower you are on the pyramid, and the whiter you are, the higher you are on the pyramids. Because, like, I think it's a mixture of a few things. One is like history. So back in the day, if you were really poor, you were really dark and tan because you worked out in the fields and the paddies. But if you were really fair, it means you were really wealthy because you stayed home all day. Another aspect is obviously like Western idealism, like the influence of Western culture, where like white people are the idealized foreigner versus like, you know, darker skin tones from other countries are seen as lesser or poorer. Still very like prominent in today's society, where, you know, there's lots of brightening creams. There's like billions of dollars of products of brightening creams. It's a huge market here in Asia. So that's like an unfortunate aspect. That is just kind of a really like a very much a reality in an Asian person's daily life here. The last thing is, so I say it's a con because I'm slightly jealous when my friends get to pull the foreigner card. And obviously everyone knows this card. Everyone's pulled it at some point probably. But there's not many places I can pull this card unless I'm with a more outright like foreigner friend. So they can just pull their foreigner card and be like, well, I'm foreign. I can get away with all of this stuff. No big deal. But me, I feel like kind of like a responsibility, and I can't really get away with it as much as they can. You know, sometimes you want to pull that card, and you can't. You can't do it. Sad. So those are my pros and cons of being a non-Asian non-Asian? What? Non-Korean Asian in Korea. Now, give me some of that. So, my give me some of that today is I've been recently obsessed with, I'm always eating snacks, like always. So number one is this choco pie. It's like a deluxe choco pie, but it's really just like 2 chocolate cakes with the cream in the middle surrounded by chocolate. So that's option 1. Oh, it's so good, guys. And then my other option are choco pies, like the original. Let me know in the comments below which one you would rather. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!